Hey guys, it's Annie back with another video, and in today's video I want to share with you guys something that I've actually only learned recently that I was completely and totally ignorant to for the first 5 years of having this channel. I've been literally robbing myself of potential YouTube Google AdSense earnings because I was completely and totally unaware of this. Now, some of you guys watching this video may have already been aware of this, but I'm hoping at least one or two people were just as ignorant as I've been, and so if I can make even one or two people who've been completely ignorant to this fully aware of it, then mission accomplished. So first off, let's have a little review and refresh on how Google AdSense earnings actually work on YouTube, because I get a whole ton of questions literally every single day about how earnings on YouTube actually work. So let's do a little refresher crash course. So essentially there are three different parties involved. There is you as the creator, then there is YouTube/Google AdSense as the platform that actually pays us, and then you have the advertisers. The advertisers are the people who are paying to have their ads play before, during, and after our videos on YouTube. So basically you have creators sign up through Google AdSense to have ads play on our videos. You then have the advertisers who sign up for Google AdSense to have their ads play on our videos. And then you have Google AdSense that basically works as the middleman to connect creators to advertisers. Then as the creators on YouTube, our earnings are calculated and determined by two different factors. The first one being the number of views the ads on your videos are receiving, as well as the CPM and RPM that are assigned to each one of your videos on YouTube. CPM stands for cost per mil, which you can actually see in the analytics of any of your videos on YouTube. You can see in the analytics of any one of your videos what your CPM is for that day. So let's say, for example, that today one of your videos has a CPM of $10. That means that for every ad view that your video receives, every time one person watches an ad on that video, your video is going to make 0.01 cents per view. And then the combined total of how much your channel makes in ad revenue every single day on YouTube, that is the total combined amount of every single ad view on every single video on your channel. Then at the end of the month, if your channel has made at least $100 in ad revenue, you will then be paid out that amount of money in the following month. So if you make at least $100 in the month of August, you will then be paid out in the month of September. So that is just a little mini refresher course on how earnings are calculated, determined, and paid out on YouTube. This of course only being for monetized creators on YouTube. So because your CPM is the number one thing that determines exactly how much money you are making per ad view, as I've discussed before on my channel, the main trick to making more money with less views is to get a higher CPM so that you're making more money per ad view. Now, this is not the bigger secret that was the main point of making this video, but that is something that you want to be aware of and remember if you're not already aware. The higher the CPM is on your video, the more money you make per view. And the main two things that determines exactly what your CPM is going to be is, first of all, the topic and keywords of your video, and secondly, your demographics. And by demographics, what that basically includes is where in the world are your viewers watching from, what language video do they typically watch, as well as their age range. If let's say your audience is majorly coming from the US, Canada, the UK, Australia, then typically you're going to have higher CPMs than creators who have audiences in second or third tier countries. Then in terms of keywords, that really comes down to each individual advertiser and how much money they are bidding for different keywords and topics. So if, for example, you are creating a morning or night routine video or a makeup tutorial video, then those videos stand to have a lower CPM than a video about finance or technology or those higher paying topics. Therefore, by applying these things to your content and your videos on YouTube, you can actually get a much higher CPM on every one of your videos and make more money with less views. Now here comes the big guy. This is something that unfortunately took me almost 5 whole years of being on YouTube to learn. That has also made me so much more money in the last month. So at this point, it is no secret that when you upload a video to YouTube, you can place ads before your video, after your video, and if your video is longer than 8 minutes, you can actually place ads during your video. Therefore, having more ads on your videos equals to more opportunities for ad views equals more potential earnings. And actually, something else to note is that videos on YouTube that have multiple ad breaks tend to have higher CPMs and make more money. But here is the big guy that I learned way too late in my journey on YouTube. Back when when I first got monetized on YouTube, it was kind of a known fact that you didn't want to have too many ad breaks in your videos, because if people got too many ads while watching your videos, they would typically get really annoyed, stop watching your video. That would mess with your audience retention, and that would also mess with your chances of having YouTube actually recommend your videos. So for that reason, I was always really mindful of exactly how many ads I had in my videos, and I would always try to have no more than one video at the beginning of the video, one in the middle, and one after. However, something I have come to learn recently is that, let's say for example, you have 5 ads over the course of your entire video. Not every single one of your viewers is going to see every one of those 5 ads. So if you have, let's say, a 20-minute video and you have an ad break every 2 minutes of those 20 minutes, it doesn't mean that every single person who watches your video is going to have an ad break every 2 minutes while they're watching your video. By having that many ad breaks in your video, the only thing you are doing is basically giving YouTube more opportunities and more places within your video to serve your viewers ads. So after I learned all of this, did a little bit more research, a little bit more digging, took some notes, I then took some time to dive into my analytics, and I made a note of which of my videos were still the top performers, which ones are bringing in the most daily views and monthly views and making me the most amount of money on my channel. Then I went into the monetization analytics of every one of those videos, and what I then did is I began to place one ad break before every single one of my talking points. So if, for example, I have a video on YouTube about how to get subscribers on YouTube, if that video has a total of 5 talking points, I place one ad break before every one of the 5 talking points, giving YouTube 5 different opportunities to serve an ad to my viewers. And I began to see results almost immediately, literally the day after I made all those changes. Some of my videos went from having a CPM of $19 to having a CPM of $55, even $80. I went from my video having to get at least 1,000 views to make $20 to my videos only needing a few hundred views to make that same amount of money. And I also began to see a massive change and difference in how much money my channel would make on the days that I wasn't uploading. Days where I wasn't making any new money on any new views on new uploads, but I was still getting views on older videos on my channel that were still getting views from being pushed out by YouTube or from search results. Now, after I first learned about this trick and made all the necessary changes to my monetization settings, August was going to be the first month that I really dove into this experiment and saw how much it would change my earnings over an entire month. However, unfortunately, August has been a really tough month outside of YouTube. There's just been a whole lot going on with my family, some of our family friends, a lot of some not so great things happening, which I mentioned in a post on my community tab and my Instagram story. So unfortunately, my true test is going to have to wait for the month of September, which means I won't be able to give you guys a proper update on all these changes until October. But nevertheless, I'm still very interested and excited to try this out and see what all the results are once I actually dive into a full month of being super active with uploads and applying all these changes. So you guys are definitely going to have to stay tuned until about early to mid-October for the full results of these changes and this experiment. But I am really excited to dive into it and share everything with you guys once I have real hard numbers, and we shall see how it all goes. But yeah, you guys, that is it for this video. That is the new thing that I learned that I wanted to share with you guys that I hope has as big a change and effect for you guys as it did for me. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all to the moon and back, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!